Hi guys, today we're going to walk through how you can root the Samsung Galaxy S2 and also how to install custom ROMs on it, such as the ever popular CyanogenMod. Now, before we can install any custom ROMs, the first thing we need to do is to root the phone. What does rooting mean? Well, basically any handset running Android is based upon the Linux operating system, and the way that this is set up, only super users have access to all aspects of the system. By rooting your phone, you give yourself super user access to the system files and all the things that are normally marked as read-only. Rooting the phone gives you the power to change almost any aspect of the way it works, and it also gives you the necessary permissions to install custom ROMs. So, in order to make life a little bit easier for ourselves, we're going to prepare the 3 files we're going to flash across with the custom kernel in advance and put them on a convenient place of the SD card. So the first file you're going to need to download in advance is going to be the rooting zip file. This is the super user file. The second one is the CyanogenMod ROM itself, and we're going to use whatever the latest nightly is. In this case, in this example, I'm going to be using the September the 16th nightly. And finally, we're going to need the Google Apps zip file, and because we're going to be using a version of CyanogenMod that is based upon Android 4.3, we're going to need the version 4.3 of the Google Apps. So I'm going to put all the links for these 3 things below. Just download them and preferably put them on the internal SD card of your phone. If you've got an external micro SD, it's fine to put them on that as well. And before we go any further, make sure that's all prepared and ready.
There are many ways to root the Galaxy S2, but I'm going to start off by changing the kernel, which is basically the part of the phone software that allows it to interface directly with the hardware. Now this phone is running Android Jelly Bean. I'm just going to show you that in settings. It's running version 4.1.2, and this is based upon version 3 of the Linux kernel, which is the latest version that there is. Now, by using a free app that I've already downloaded called RootCheck, and I'm going to put the link to this app in the description below, I can show you that this phone is currently not rooted. In fact, as you should be able to see, it's running stock firmware, exactly how you get it when you buy it from the shop. In order to root this device, I'm going to have to flash the new kernel, which includes custom recovery software, which will allow me to root it. In order to do this, you need 2 pieces of software. One is called Odin, and the other is just the actual kernel file itself. So I'm going to put the links down below, and once you've downloaded them both, you're ready to start rooting. And before you do that, the first step is to turn your phone off. And make sure when you do this that you wait long enough for the phone to go fully off. So give it a few seconds. It's even a good idea to take the battery out to ensure that the phone is fully off before you start.
Okay, so once you start up Odin, it will look like this, and all you need to do is click on the PDA button and then select the kernel we downloaded earlier, put that in, and just make sure these settings are the only 2 boxes that are ticked: auto reboot and F reset time. Make sure there's nothing here on the repartition section.
Once you've got Odin set up on your computer, you're ready to boot your phone into download mode simply by pressing simultaneously the home key, the power key and the volume down key. So hold them all down together hard, and it'll just take a few seconds, and before you know it, your phone will have booted into download mode. So check the warning and then simply just tap the volume up key to get into download mode, and you're ready to connect the USB cable and start flashing the new kernel with Odin.
And once you've hit the volume up key to continue, you can plug your phone in to your computer with your USB cable. It will come up with a colour here. It should be blue with this version of Odin 3.0.7, and you'll get the message added there. And then you're ready to start. Just make sure you've got a really good USB cable that's not going to break halfway through. So hit start, and it will go ahead, flash the kernel across, and hopefully we'll get this OK notification, and your phone will start to reboot, and the kernel will be flashed.
Okay, so once you've flashed your kernel, your phone will start rebooting. You'll want to quickly grab the battery and pull it out to stop that happening because it's not quite ready yet. And then we're just going to have to enter into this custom recovery we've just installed. So to do that, it's quite similar to the last thing. You need to hold down the home key, the power key, and this time the volume up key, and keep them held down for a really long time. So first of all, what you'll see is the Samsung logo flash up a couple of times. You'll notice there's this yellow triangle there now. Don't worry too much about that, and we're going to remove that later if we need to. But if you just keep holding down those three buttons, eventually you'll find yourself in the custom recovery you've just installed. Now, before we go any further, what you'll probably want to do is go ahead and back up your current ROM. So to navigate through ClockworkMod, which is this custom recovery, you simply use the volume up and down keys to scroll up and down, and then hit the power button to make your selection. So to back up your current settings, just simply go to backup and restore, and then you can choose whether you want to back up to SD card 0 or SD card 1. So SD card 0 is the phone's internal memory, and SD card 1 is an external memory card, an external SD card if you've got one inserted. So once you've backed up your phone, you're ready to go ahead and go to the next step. So now we've got the recovery, we can root it. So simply go to the install zip section, hit the power key to enter that, and we need to choose the super user file which we downloaded earlier. So mine is on SD card 0, and it's simply in this folder here along with everything else, and here's the super user file here. So just choose the zip, press enter, and press yes to confirm, and it will quickly go ahead and install everything. Now you're ready to install CyanogenMod. So this involves a few steps. Again, we need to go to install zip. Again, choose the zip from where it's stored. Mine's in the same place. And here is the file. So just click it. Mine is the 16th of September nightly, and just click it, and it'll take a couple of minutes for the update to install. So just leave your phone to go ahead and do that. Right, once that's installed, you'll want to go ahead and install Google Apps. So Google Apps are things like Google Play, YouTube, that sort of thing, which can't be included with the CyanogenMod. So they just come as a separate file. Got the file in the same place. Just again, click yes to confirm, and your phone will start installing Google Apps for Android. Again, that should only take about a minute, and now we've just got a couple more steps before we're ready to reboot our phone. So you need to go back and do a full factory reset of your phone. This is just going to delete all your data. So before you do the factory reset, make sure you've done the backup we talked about earlier, and then you can wipe the cache partition. And finally, we need to go to the advanced menu and wipe the Dalvik cache. And then, once that's done, Dalvik cache wiped, we're ready to reboot our phone into CyanogenMod. So hit the reboot system now. And hopefully we'll see CyanogenMod boot up on our phone. And there you have it. Your phone is now rooted and running the CyanogenMod ROM instead of the stock Samsung operating system. So don't be too concerned if the first boot of CyanogenMod takes quite a long time. Just go ahead, I'm going to skip through all these steps, you can do them yourself. And what we'll find once we've set everything up, is that we've got a beautiful, clean version of CyanogenMod running on the phone. And it includes all sorts of great features. So we've got the trebuchet launcher, which has got loads of customizations for you. And if I just go quickly to About Phone, you can see we're now running the latest version of Android 4.3. Beautiful. And not only that, we've got the CyanogenMod kernel, and we're running the nightly that we just flashed across. So there you have it. CyanogenMod is now installed on your phone, and you can go ahead and be happy using the latest version of Android 4.3 Jelly Bean. So what about that yellow triangle that was there earlier? Well, to get rid of that, it's really simple. Just simply go to the Play Store and download this app called Triangle Away. Here it is. Make sure you get the latest version from the Play Store, and this is going to ask for super user or root access. That's simple enough. I'm just going to let it go ahead and have that. And so we've granted super user access to Triangle Away. That means we definitely have got root access on the phone. And I'm going to have to run it again. And it's going to go ahead and detect the phone. So it's the GT i9100, which is the Samsung Galaxy S2. So this is correct. I can press continue. Just skip through these. And then simply to get rid of the triangle, I just need to hit this button called Reset Flash Counter. So press that once. It says danger. I'm going to press continue because I accept the risk. And it's going to reboot the phone into a special mode that's going to let me reset the flash counter. Basically what happened when I flashed the kernel with Odin, it's basically incremented the flash counter. So you can see my flash counter now says 1 rather than 0, which is what it was before. And Triangle Away just forces this number back down to 0 again. So I'm going to press the volume up to reset the counter, and Triangle Away is going to go and do its work. To do that, it's done, and volume up is going to reboot normally back into the phone system. So when I press that, we should see the Samsung logo come up again, and the triangle is now gone. And hopefully, if we're lucky, it will start booting into CyanogenMod again, and everything will be complete. So now we have a phone that's no longer running Samsung stock ROM, it's running CyanogenMod. It's no longer got the yellow triangle, it's just as it was before, and also it's completely rooted, so we've got the power to do whatever we want with our phone, no more restrictions. There you go, nice and quick, CyanogenMod running on the Samsung Galaxy S2. Thanks for watching guys, rate, comment, subscribe. Rate